What's up, YouTube? This is hitter45 coming back to you with a little video of a song like I like. It's a gospel song made by somebody on here, Hassan Green. I like the song. It's like it's uplifting, and it just tells you like, man, like you just, I can't really describe it. It's like it just lets you know where your faith lies and that you're not gonna turn back now. And it's a real nice song, and I like it. So I'm gonna sing it. And here it is. Again, add, subscribe, all of that. Comment if you like it. If you don't, whatever, same thing. Just comment, please. So here it is. I gotta make a mind. Had made a mind to live for the Lord. Had made a mind to live for Jesus, and I won't turn back. I won't turn back. See, I'm determined to go all the way, no matter what people say. I'm every root of valid indeed, so, and I'm walking in my destiny. I made a mind to live for the Lord. I made a mind to live for Jesus, and I won't turn back.